We have seen storms blanketing across Alberta and Saskatchewan. Last night, a funnel cloud was even spotted. This was in Edmonton. Kimberly Miller posted this to Facebook. Such eerie scenes there, but typical springtime storms for us. And as I mentioned, those storms just absolutely blanketing two different provinces. You can see there was even tornado warnings, all these places in red here. That was last night's archives of the watches and warnings that just kept popping up. And the instability is just going to continue as we continue on into your weekend across British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan, bringing with it widespread rainfall for many of you, anywhere from the west coast up towards, or down towards Winnipeg, I should say. And it's not just the rain we're watching, we're also watching for the capability of strong winds, even small hail in some cases. With all of this yellow here popping up, that's our CAPE. It's our thunderstorm energy, and it's what helps us monitor any of these thunderstorm risks in your region. So anywhere from Kamloops up towards Prince Albert, Regina, you could potentially see more thunderstorms popping up in your forecast today, and that continues even on Sunday for those across British Columbia and Alberta, anywhere from Revelstoke to Medicine Hat. Just be aware tomorrow that you could also experience some thunderstorm activity. Those temperatures really warm, helping to fuel the instability in the atmosphere. You are warmer than your normal seasonal conditions. Medicine Hat could get upwards of 25 degrees this afternoon. And do keep in mind, if you see rain, it may stop and you might get a clearing, but that doesn't mean you're out of the woods yet. This entire weekend, make sure you are weather aware and stay with us at the Weather Network to keep monitoring the thunderstorm risks in your region. Now, as for those on the west, high pressure in place, which means sunnier skies for you. Upwards of 25 degrees for some across southern Ontario. Windsor, you're inching towards 25 degrees. Toronto, you could get upwards of 21 degrees. But do keep in mind, those winds could be fairly gusty at times, especially along the shores of Lake Ontario, Georgian Bay, upwards of 40 kilometers an hour. So if you have a tea time, just be aware that might hinder your ball's performance. Now, as for you on the east, your temperatures are just below seasonal, but we are starting to warm up as we head into your Sunday, which, just a reminder, is Father's Day tomorrow. So do enjoy the rest of your weekend while you can, because you could see some instability by next week for those on the east. It's Saturday, June the 14th. You're watching Weather AM here at the Weather Network. I'm Victoria Fenn Alvarado. As we continue to monitor the ongoing instability across the west, anywhere from BC to Alberta, Saskatchewan, and even parts of Manitoba, you should certainly be weather aware this weekend as we have some more energy capable of producing more thunderstorm watches and warnings in your region, similar to what we saw last night. Now, those temperatures, they are quite warm, which really does help to fuel the smoke. And the ongoing storyline has been the wildfires across the west. Yes, the firefighters are still battling the flames, but the good news is all of this rain is really going to help those firefighters who are trying to fight these ongoing active wildfire season that we've had ahead. So as we head into your Saturday, some pockets of instability for the interior, but more widespread rainfall on Sunday for those on the far west coast. Along the prairies, similar there, you may see rain, and then all of a sudden the rain will clear out, but that doesn't mean you are necessarily clear for the rest of your weekend. These showers are quite isolated in nature. These thunderstorm capabilities also pretty isolated in nature, but you should be weather aware anywhere from Kamloops down to Kelowna and towards Saskatoon and Regina. That's where we could see a more severe possible potential for thunderstorms this afternoon. Large hail, heavy rain, strong wind gusts, all associated with this, and the risk really does continue on your Sunday as well. But this time on your Sunday, anywhere from Edmonton down towards Calgary, that's where you could expect a more severe potential. Here's a look at all the rain on the west. You can see widespread rainfall specifically on the north, a little bit more clear for those on the west, but I mentioned these are quite isolated in nature, so the rain could be on and off throughout the weekend. If you do have any outdoor plans, you may need to change them to indoor plans. And the next week, really quite soggy. You can really notice it in your 7-day forecast in Calgary, and those thunderstorm energy still ongoing as we head into your work week. As for those on the east, high pressure in place. What does that mean? It means sunny skies. It means no precipitation, at least for this weekend. Your temperatures, they are starting to warm back up. Yesterday in southern Ontario, it was below seasonal, quite chilly at times. Well, we are back into the 20-degree temperatures for your day today, but enjoy that while you can, because in your long-range forecast, we could expect widespread rainfall with the capability of thunderstorm potential. Do keep in mind this is for your Tuesday, Wednesday, and in through Thursday, but that is a little bit far out, so we're going to continue monitoring any active weather in your region as we continue into your weekend and to get you more prepared for the work week ahead. Stay with us here on Weather AM. Plenty more to come. See the water coming off those race cars there. Luckily for those headed to the F1 Grand Prix, better skies, sunnier skies, warmer conditions too. 22 degrees on Saturday in Montreal. On your Sunday, similar conditions, even warmer, 25 degrees. And with that being said, there's high pressure in place, which is just absolutely blanketing the East Atlantic Canada. Beautiful conditions this weekend, southern Ontario as well, but it really won't last forever. We're watching for some thunderstorm capabilities for your midweek. We're not quite there yet, but do keep in mind if you're anywhere across southern Ontario, we are actively monitoring your long-range forecast for the capability of thunderstorms. Now your temperatures starting to warm back up, especially for those across the west, but the warm air that's really helping to fuel thunderstorm energy. We saw plenty of thunderstorm watches and warnings yesterday popping up, sparking up, especially across Alberta. We even saw a funnel cloud in Edmonton. We could potentially see some more thunderstorm capability today. Strong winds, large hail, heavy rain, all possible, and we can't rule out the possibility to see even more funnel clouds today. So you're certainly going to want to stay weather aware this entire weekend, because Sunday we could still see the risk lingering for those across Alberta, even southern Saskatchewan, with a more severe risk potential anywhere from Edmonton down to Calgary. With the thunderstorm potential, we can see some soaking rains, especially for those across British Columbia in the northern portions of Alberta as well. Soggy conditions for you, even continuing until Tuesday. So it's looking like at least 4 days of rain. You can really see this here in your 7-day forecast for those in Calgary. The instability really just not going away until at least the end of your work week. So certainly be weather aware this weekend, especially because tomorrow's Father's Day. So if you do have any outdoor plans, you might need to shift those plans to indoor. We could still see some more severe weather today on your Saturday, even in through Sunday. Here's a look at the places that we're watching for the capability of strong wind, large hail, even heavy rain, anywhere from Kamloops down to Kelowna and further east towards Regina. Regina, that's where we could see the more severe potential. With it, not just lightning and thunder and the strong winds, but also heavy rain. And you can see widespread rainfall all across the west coast until Tuesday. Do keep in mind multiple days of rain, multiple days of instability. You can see the pockets here. This is the areas we're watching, and to give you a better look at the timing here, Saturday evening, that's where we're watching for the capability of those thunderstorms across BC, Calgary. You're in that as well. As we head into your Sunday, that's when southern Manitoba, you could experience some storms, southern Saskatchewan as well. And then even Sunday evening, that's where we could still see the potential of the severe weather across Saskatchewan and Alberta. Here's a look at your risk on Sunday. In case you do have any Father's Day plans, you're certainly going to want to keep an eye on your forecast. Southern Saskatchewan, you remain in this thunderstorm risk, while the more severe potential is anywhere from Edmonton down to Calgary. And those warm temperatures really helping to fuel the storms. Your seasonal for this time of year is 20 degrees. Vancouver, you're just around that. The interior, a little bit warmer there, inching closer to 25 degrees this afternoon. Meanwhile, for those across the prairies, similar conditions, more like 25 degrees for southern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Do keep in mind that If you see some rain or you see any thunderstorm activity and then all of a sudden it stops, it doesn't mean that you're in the clear. We could still see active weather even until your midweek. So stay with us here at the Weather Network as we continue to monitor any active weather in your region. As for those on the east, better conditions for you. High pressure in place, which means sunnier skies and not much precipitation this weekend. We are watching for thunderstorm potential on your midweek for those across the east. But before we get there, your temperatures starting to warm back up. Yesterday, it was quite chilly across the east, specifically southern Ontario. It only got upwards of 17 degrees. We're getting back to those 20-degree temperatures. And you can really enjoy the long days. Check out the sunset time across Atlantic Canada, Charlottetown after 9 p.m. That's when you could experience your sunset. Same with St. John's. So you have plenty of day ahead of you, plenty of weekend ahead, and I hope you enjoy your weekend with the beautiful conditions for those on the east. Now, here to help us narrow down the definition of a wall cloud, a shelf cloud, and even a funnel cloud is meteorologist Laura Power. Now, Laura, those shots, they look quite stunning. However, they bring some pretty severe weather at times.
Yeah, shelf clouds usually develop on the gust front or the initial winds.
Funnel clouds obviously tend to be the more severe one because funnel clouds could potentially turn into a tornado. We actually have seen funnel clouds recently this year.
Victoria, we have a risk of funnel clouds once again on Saturday. We did get many warnings on the eve of Friday where a tornado will land. It's often an area of instability or those criteria that we look for when it comes to summer severe weather, more likely in the States than it is in Canada, but we've already seen multiple tornadoes across the country this year. We did, as I mentioned, get some tornado warnings yesterday in portions of Alberta, Saskatchewan. If I play through the warnings, those purples there, that is where we had the tornado warnings on a Friday, June 13th.
I'm Victoria Fenn, Alvarado. In a few moments, we have Laura Power joining us with all of your forecast details to get you prepared for the rest of the weekend. Return to seasonal temperatures. We could see rain by midweek, though, so enjoy the lack of rain while you can. And if you are prone to asthma or allergies, you're not going to want to miss In the Know coming right up because if there's ever a thunderstorm, allergies can certainly flare up. If you stick around, you'll find out why. 21 degrees in Toronto with some partially cloudy skies. And as we head into your evening, still holding on to some heat at 18 degrees. All right, here is all of your forecast details with meteorologist Laura Power. Very wonderful. If you have any pictures or videos, feel free to send them in to us at the Weather Network or at Victoria Fenn Alvarado on any social media platform. We love to see it. It really helps to share your weather story of the day and of the weekend. As for your weekend conditions, 22 degrees in Niagara Falls, just about 21 degrees in Toronto. So it's the perfect opportunity to head outside and seize the day. With more of your forecast, here's meteorologist Laura Power. This shot here is a rare phenomenon known as the von Karman vortices. Now the question is, how does this happen in our atmosphere?
Yeah, it's very interesting. When you think about a stream headed down a river, when that stream hits an object like a rock, it normally splits in half and diverts around the rock. The atmosphere in itself also acts as a fluid. When an air parcel hits something in the water, such as an island, it forces the air to divert in two directions, and on the other side, they spiral in on each other, creating what looks like eddies in the sky.
It looks like a portrait in the sky, but in fact, this is actually satellite imagery.
Oh, Canada.